Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin in Tucson, Arizona, where we have a brick and mortar store that you can stop in and see. You can find us at oldpueblocoin.com, TucsonCoinshow.com if you want to do something fun in January. No one's ever mad that they came to Tucson in January, and we'll have a good time hanging out at the Tucson Coin Show. In the meantime, I'll catch you at shows out around the country if I can. Let's look at some coins here and talk about what we see. So this group of coins is mostly for customers, maybe a couple things here for us, but we're going to start with things that we sent into CAC. This is all a CAC related video. These coins were sent in for a crossover. So these are in NGC holders. And one of the things that's very difficult, I think, in general is getting a crossover from a proof coin from this era, so your seeded coinage. It's just kind of difficult to cross over. This is a Proof 65 Cameo. Beautiful coin, 1866 with motto. And so there's the things that, first of all, can we just enjoy the coin for a minute before we get all worried about the grade? Because that's still kind of like what we do. I think that enjoying the coin is probably the most important part about what we do. Everyone gets all caught up in the grading, and I get it. That's like people don't enjoy basketball games. They enjoy yelling at refs. It's the same thing. So this one did, of course, not cross over. That one's, it's pretty difficult to get a crossover on, I think, especially higher grade proof coins, especially in older holders. I feel like it's a little bit difficult to see the overall surface quality because you see there's just a lot of action here, but most of that action is on the plastic. This coin is graded Proof 66 Cameo. And when you're looking at crossing a coin over like this, you're actually looking at multiple items here because it has to, the other grading company, if you're going to try to cross it over, has to see the coin as not only a 66 but also as a cameo. And there's any little thing that they could look at and say, well, because of reason X or reason Y, we're not going to call this coin the grade that it is already assigned in our holder. So 3 coins in the fountain. And I think out of the 3, this is the one that I thought really had the best shot. This is also Proof 66, but it is not a cameo. So you don't have to worry about the cameo effect getting past the grader, so to speak. Now this coin does have a lot of haze to it, a lot of toning to it, but to me it has a lot of originality to it, and I think that's just fine. So unfortunately, all 3 of these coins for my customer, none of them crossed, but we all get to enjoy them, and that's the fun part. You don't see a lot of seeded coins in proof. I don't, I should say. There's some of you out there that see them all the time, I'm sure, but for a lot of us, we get to just enjoy them once in a blue moon. So on with the show. This is a 1851 large cent that we thought looked pretty nice, had a good overall good look to it, and thought we would send it in. Really an intriguing coin, 1851 large cent. The details on these, I've always just kind of enjoyed higher grade versions of these, kind of what they look like with the, especially on the obverse. I know we're looking at the reverse, but on the obverse, I've always really enjoyed just the deep detail of the hair. It's kind of basic. In other words, there's not like thousands of little hair strands, but the details are very strong. And then that beaded hair bun, it's just a cool look. So you'll have to forgive me if I get into hair. Unk details, questionable color. So could this be our first questionable color that we've gotten on a CAC coin? Unk detail, I mean, I think they get the grade right on that. Questionable color, you know, I'm not going to argue it too much. The color has a almost bluish tinge, greenish tinge to it. It's just, you can look at it and say, I don't know, and I'm going to just call it that. Once again, I may be all wet here, and some of you guys who are older than me and been collecting longer than me, maybe you can tell me. I really feel like questionable color is a relatively new term that's within like the last 7 or 8 years. I didn't know that actually didn't know that CAC used it, but previously it was either artificial toning or not on those guys. So next up, we could have this fun, excuse me, boys. Let's get this out of the way here. So we're going to talk about a few coins we cracked and sent in. A couple are actually for us, and I believe this middle one's for a customer. So once again, folks, disclaimer time. This is all for fun and games. Don't try this at home. I actually don't recommend people crack out coins and resubmit them. I actually don't even recommend people get coins graded. I recommend, if you like graded coins, buy the coins graded. 1948S quarter. So there's a backstory to this, MS66. The backstory is that we had a bulk group of these that we sent in a couple years ago. And after we went through them, we pulled a couple that we kind of thought, these look proof-like. And I believe it was our first CAC submission that we sent in. We cracked one of these out, same from the same series, and it came back proof-like. Our entire goal of this coin was to get it in a proof-like holder. That was what we were kind of fishing for, if you will. The hairlines on here are raised. Those are not scratch marks. Those are just the hairlines. That oftentimes is what will give you a little bit of the proof-like look. Oftentimes you'll see a proof-like look from something that has a lot of little hairlines to it that are not the cleaning variety, but are actually die polish marks, because a heavily polished die will create that proof-like, will help to create that proof-like finish. So we did such a nice job with the other one getting it in a proof-like holder. This one we did not. And also, you may notice that that grade is a couple points lower. I think the other coin came back a 5 PL, but I can't remember exactly offhand. I'm sure the video link above will have it. We had an old fatty. This is for a customer of ours, Proof 65. Fatty is the term for the NGC holders that are a little bit thicker. So Proof 65, and this coin has a little bit of stuff going on it that is just residual, like from being in probably a old holder. But the surface quality, I think, is very strong on this coin. You know, you're not seeing all of that little bit of slide action that you'll see on proof sometimes. And my customer thought that, you know, maybe it could come back a 6, which I think was not too unreasonable. So 5 to 5, which actually, if you've seen any CAC grading videos, people unboxing CAC coins, you know, you can understand that that's actually probably in some ways a win. I mean, our customer here was just trying to get things crossed over at the same grade level. So that happened to be, I think, a win for our customer. Last but not least, this coin's interesting, 40S and 66. We were actually once again trying to get a PL on a coin. And it's very difficult to get proof-like finishes on certain coins. For those of us who look at a lot of Morgan dollars and see those, you'll see the proof-like finish probably the most frequently on those coins. But a lot of the smaller type coins you don't see proof-like finishes on. It's a kind of a scarce moniker. And so this coin was in a PCGS 66 holder, and we were hoping to get something that says proof-like on it, just because it has kind of a cool proof-like finish to it. I think especially on the obverse, the reverse of the coin, yeah, well, we sent it in because we thought it had a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Let's keep saying it. Undetails environmental damage, so that's a trade-off right there, friends. And a 40, by the way, you know, Mercury dimes in the 40s, what a value. I mean, you can buy MS66 coins and they're not that expensive. I think oftentimes you'll see coins like that in the $25 to $40 range. You know, coins from the 40s and higher grade, 65, 6. A lot of times it's not until you get to a 68 until you see those like crazy price jumps. So there it is, folks. And let me know what you think on these particular coins and results. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.